Hey everybody, today is August. It's already August. Wow, it's August 22nd, 2018. It is a Wednesday, and this month has been one of the biggest months of my life. Like, it's literally been non-stop since day one. I mean, I don't know if anybody like here follows me on social media or anything like that, but okay, so on August 1st, I went to go see my grandma, me and my mom. We went there to go see my grandma. We were going there, stopping by, and then we were going to go back to her place and like put some stuff together so we could move her stuff and take it to her new place that she was going to be going to. She was going to move in the next day to well, she was going to go to like this rehab center place, and then we were going to take her to like this long-term care type place instead of assisted living, because she had been hadn't been feeling that good, and we figured that it'd be good for her to go someplace where they would actually be there with her and like check on her and stuff like that, instead of her, you know, just having assisted living where, you know, she didn't really need people that much. So yeah, me and my mom went there, and my grandma, she wasn't there in her room, and we asked, and she went to go get a CT, and then when she came back, I noticed that she was really tired and sleepy, and so me and my mom left. We went to go get an oil change, and then we went back. Well, we went to go get the oil change, and then we got a call from the doctor saying that my grandma had a massive stroke, and that was like really like, I remember sitting down in the car parking lot, just remembering to breathe, you know. Just because my grandma, she had already had two before, and the last one she had 3 years ago from July was massive. Like, it was, I was there, and I remember her talking on the phone and stuff like that right before it happened. She was like, we gotta get out there quick. Yeah, and that was the last time I ever actually heard her talk like normally, and then, you know, aphasia and just all this stuff, and then, you know, 3 years, so we're just there with her, and it was just really heavy because my grandma, she's DNR, she was DNR, yeah, just a bunch of stuff. I've been trying to like get into it in like other videos and stuff like that, but I'll make a video on how much my grandma means to me and the significance of her, but just that there was just so much crazy stuff, and you know, it was just really hard to go through. It's already been a week since her funeral. A week today since her funeral. It's still like so unbelievable to say, think, feel like it's something I've never been through in my life, because my grandma was the only grandma that I knew, and because she was my mom's mom, and it was just really, I don't know, I'll get into that more, but long story short, that was the 1st of August, and my grandma managed to hang in there. managed to hang in there a week. She managed to hang in there for another week, and on August 8th at 11:25 p.m. my grandma passed away. And just, yeah, this is why I need some time to really kind of process everything. But yeah, my mom, she called, and it was just really rough. Just really rough. I don't know. I'll get into it in another video. But I'm so incredibly grateful and thankful that I was blessed to have my grandma, because she taught me so much about so many different things. And the main thing that I wanted to make this video for, well, a lot of reasons. Today is really significant. Every day is significant. Every day is a day to celebrate your life, and to celebrate not even just, you know, the days of your life or the day that you have right now, but also to remember and look back and be mindful in everything of your past too, and everything that you went through to get to where you are now. Well, 5 years ago today, I made that song, my friend. I made that song as a song to myself, and I didn't think I'd be posting it to anybody or posting it online or anything like that, but I made it for myself, really, to remind myself that, like, hey, I'm here for you, me, like, that like, as much as all the crazy stuff is, like, you still got me. But I can't even tell you, like, if I were gonna, I had another voice memo and stuff like that, like, maybe, I think it was before I made that song. It was really kind of a reply to that song. But yeah, so 2 weeks from tomorrow is my 24th birthday. I remember I was about to be 19, you know, 5 years ago from today. Well, yeah. And well, not today, today's not my birthday, but the song was right before my 19th birthday, and I remember it so clearly, like it was yesterday. I was all, I don't know how to really, I've been through a lot in my life, and I know you guys have too. And so what I want to do in this video is really try to share those thoughts and stuff like that. Like, you know, what would I say to 19-year-old me, to me, you know, during that time when that was really leading up to me attempting. I mean, you know, you guys know that, like, you're not alone. You know that that's something that I really try to get out there and stuff like that, or I hope I do. Because I think that as many times as you hear that you're not alone, I think that, you know, we forget, or we, like, hear it so much, like, you're not alone, like, people are here for you, you're not alone. But it's a lot deeper than that, because you can be surrounded by a bunch of people and still feel alone, you know. And something that I really learned, you know, even like this past, like, well, really these past 5 years, but it's not something that I truly, that I felt so much, like, really, like, I don't know, this past year has really, like, significantly impacted me. I still have blue hair, by the way. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's, like, kind of green now. I love it. I think it's awesome. I actually dyed it again. I dyed it sapphire, because it was kind of fading, and Sapphire's my birthstone in Virgo. Yeah. And yeah, I wanted it to be a little darker because it was kind of lightening up to be like a light green, which is all cool, but now it's like teal, and it's really cool too. I don't know, it's so cool to see your hair change colors. But yeah, back to you know, you hear so many times like the same things being said to you, and something that I really learned in the past 5 years is that, you know, there's so many things, but it's sad in a way, but it's also such a, I look at it as such a gift in a way. You know, had being able had like survived that. I know that I'm the one that put myself in that situation, and I take full responsibility of attempting to kill myself. And regardless of the things that were happening, I mean, you know, those things are very valid and very, you know, strong points to me, because I completely understand why I did it. But a lot of things that I've realized is just that, like, I mean, there's so much, there's like so many things. You know, I really, like, one of the big things about me that, like, before and even after I attempted suicide, like, I really wanted that, like, that love, you know, that kind of love that we all, like, search for, where we are accepted as we are, in the sense of, you know, all these things that we even hate about ourselves are, or not, maybe not hate, but not really like or anything about us, that we are somehow, you know, still cared about, even through those things, or the bad things we've done, or anything like that. You know, I was searching so hard for those things when I, you know, all these years, and you know, that I self-abandoned myself. I I've really learned about that this past year and a half or so. That, sorry. There's so much going on all the time, and you know, you really want people to like you. Or at least I really wanted people to like me. I wanted people to like me and love me so much that I gave them this part of me, that gave them so much power, that if they didn't like me, or if they rejected me, or felt a certain way towards me, then I was just so, like, angry and so mad, and felt so, like, awful. And you know, I know ever since I found out that I have CPTSD, seriously, like, it's completely changed my whole perspective in the way that I've looked at things. Like, you know, like, the surviving coping mechanism things that I adapted, or like had when I was a little kid, like, to be able to survive things, situations that I was literally, that was it for me. I didn't have an option to leave, you know, leave that situation. You know, I took that with me, and it took me so long to realize that. Like, I literally just realized this stuff in November. I started healing, like, really, like, healing and stuff like that, honestly, I think like a year ago from now. And it's just like, I'm still, like, obviously, like, I always have so much growing and learning and healing and stuff to do, but it's just really changed my life, and I really want to share and put this stuff out there. So, like, that's why I do these things, and that's why I, like, am the way I am. I don't know, like, So the really like big things that I want to say to younger me, you know, and that I would say to younger me, and just any message for anybody out there, you know. I mean, I don't know you, like, probably, I don't know, maybe I do, maybe I had known you in a past life, but maybe it's just that, like, maybe like there are parts of you that people may not know, or people may have known you in certain parts, and you know, we're all on this journey, and some of us go our separate ways and stuff. But the person that we'll always have is us. You know, the person that we'll have there for us when we're going through those tough times is us. You know, when we're riding in the car alone, away from people, and we're, you know, just any time that, you know, we're around people and we're thinking thoughts, or just anything we feel, think, our entire being and stuff like that is ours. And there's an entire world going on inside of you. And, you know, it really matters and counts, like, who you have, like, around you in those times when you are around people. And sometimes you can't control it. And, you know, and you really kind of have to, like, figure your way around those things and be around people and situations that are really difficult and really, you know, a lot of the times you learn, you know, I know for me at 19, well, 18 gonna be 19, that, like, you know, I felt like I had to conform and be my dead name, you know, like, I had to be this person who had to pretend that I was a girl. I had to pretend that I was just like this, you know, it was just like, if you don't do this, you know, God's not gonna accept you type person. Like, God, like, doesn't love you if you act like you're somebody who God didn't make you to be. And, or, like, this is your name, this is your legal name, I'm not gonna call you any other name. Or pronouns, like, you're, you know, you have these body parts or whatever, so you have to be this, and just all these things that just, it sucks. Like, it sucks. Like, going through that just really just damaged my soul in a way. It made me feel like I wasn't worthy of life, and made me feel like I wasn't worthy of any of this. Like, I wasn't worthy of love even, because nobody could love me because I am not this, like, you know, like manly man that has all these, like, man parts, whatever, that, like, you know, somehow genitals equal your worth as a person, your value. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, but that's how it's always been, you know, growing up here. So it's like, how do I fit into this world, this area, this place? How do I fit into all of this life with my dog, who's behind his stick that fell? Oh my goodness. Leia, hey buddy. Hey. How do I fit into all of this? You know, that's just what I'd been thinking for years. Like, how I didn't feel like I did. I felt like a burden. I felt like I just, nothing. I couldn't even think of my future because there was nothing there. Like, I didn't even dream of it. I didn't really even have any goals or anything like that to put forth into being able to create and have all this life and everything, because there was none of that for me. There was none of that. Like, I know that there is now, but before I did this, before I attempted suicide and everything, like, it was just, you know, I hoped and prayed so much for, like, everybody else who was struggling, and just everybody else out there, nobody excluded, for them to have that kind of life if they you know, whatever kind of life they so choose. You know, I wanted everybody to live and be the happiest they could be with themselves and the people around them and all of that. But like, for me, it just, I couldn't live in a world where I had to be somebody that I wasn't, that I had to be this idea of somebody who, you know, I thought people loved, you know, that people would only love if I were the idea of who they thought, or this idea that they had of me, you know. Like, that was really just everything. That was all my thinking and everything. And it took me attempting suicide, attempting to take my life. It took that to really show me somehow that, like, you know, like, I know I've gone over it over and over again, but like, seriously, like, what I was feeling was like, hey buddy, I know all you've been through in your life. I know all the pain you've been through and everything. And I want you to know that I'm here, and that you're not a burden, that you're not a mistake, that you're worthy of life and love and everything good that this life has to offer. You just need to change. You need to realize what you've been doing. You need to realize how you've been treating people, and you need to change your ways and not do that and not hurt people and not be selfish. And like, you need to be mindful and aware of how you treat people, because it's not really, like, I realized so much, honestly, of how selfish I was back then, of how it might have been really underlaying, and it might have been me trying to do other things for other people, but there was that underlying thing of it being not necessarily for me, or not necessarily for other people too, but it was for my benefit, because I didn't want to get hurt. So I would, you know, just, it took me on this path, really, like, I don't know. And the biggest thing that was like the biggest thing that was said, and then the thing that came after it was, people are gonna love you for who you are. And the first thought that came into my mind was my friends. It was of people that I had just met, you know, and, you know, my family, my mom, my grandma, you know, and it was just like, you're not alone in this, and that you need to stay alive, because this is not your time. And I know that that's so crazy, but I literally felt like, my mom even said it, and I didn't even think about this, but seriously, like, I've talked about this before, but I didn't even think about it. But when I was younger, I was told that, like, God would wrap his heavenly arms around you and stuff like that, and that is exactly what I felt. Like, I didn't even think about that, like, it never even crossed my mind, but I just heard it honestly when my grandma passed away. And it's just like, I just have nothing but gratefulness that I actually did survive that. Because having survived that, you know, that was 5 years ago almost, and literally, like, the next, like, 2 years after that were, well, the next, like, year and 11 months, I had really been like, you know, I've gotta be there for me. And I had, you know, a few months later, I'd gotten out of this relationship that was, you know, I got out of this relationship that was really big to me. And I had just been working so hard on me after that. I was like, you know, if people aren't gonna love this idea of me, or if people are gonna just love me for this idea of who I should be and pick parts out of me that they think that I should be for them to love me, then, like, how, like, no, I'm sorry, but, like, not really, like, I gotta love me and be there for me. And I don't know, but it takes so long. And it's like, and something that I also read about crazy today, I literally came across this chapter in this book I'm reading. I just flipped it open because I was like trying to find my bookmark, and like totally didn't like go to my bookmark. Went to this page, but it was chapter 12 in this book called All About Love by Bell Hooks, and she talks about redemptive love. And that is what I wholeheartedly believe, that I'd been praying to go through, like, this healing type thing, you know, to heal from all my past traumas and everything. And literally the past 3 years have literally transformed my life. You know, like, man, like, my grandma, I would talk to her. I would go over to her place and I would just sit with her, and she'd just talk to me. Sometimes I didn't know what she was saying, kind of all the time at the end, but, you know, she would talk to me, and she would be there. She would show up with me and sit with me and let me talk about how I felt in a way that was, like, you know, and she always, like, kind of had something to say, because, like, she, like, you know, I think my grandma was a lot like me, you know. My grandma talked a lot, and you know, I'm definitely gonna make a video about her, because I love my grandma so much. And I don't know, just redemptive love, you know, it's healing. It's so healing when, you know, you go through all those traumatic things, and yeah, you did not choose to go through that at all. You did not choose to grow up in the place you grew up in, or not even just where you grew up in. Sometimes you have traumas later on in your life. Me personally, mine was, like, literally when I was born till, like, I was, like, 16, and then continued. Like, it was just, my journey is my own, and just being able to survive that and realizing these things, literally a year and 11 months later, I started T. I started T on August 10th, 2015. So insane. Like, if you would have told me that literally almost, like, not even 2 years after I attempted suicide that I would have been on T, I would have told you that, like, I don't even see life, like, laugh and, like, you know, that's funny, like, for somebody else, you know, but for me, that just, it wasn't life. It wasn't anything. But like, I actually started T. So, you know, my grandma, she passed away August 8th, and then on Friday, it was my that Friday, it was my 3-year anniversary of being on T, my 3rd birthday, I guess you could say, of, you know, everything, the start of all this. Excuse me. I remember I had an R2D2 Band-Aid. Yeah, and I was so excited. It happened at like 2 o'clock or something like that, and just super excited. And happy, like, I saw this meme, I don't know if, like, it's like this, like, kid, and it's like, first day T-shot or whatever, and he's like, inject that shit, and I'm like, yeah, that was me. If you would've just, I keep thinking about that though, and that's something that just, I got to start T, and 3 months later, on the 5th of November, I had top surgery, and my grandma got to see me be who I am, and got to love me fully for who I am. Even if she didn't understand a lot, she actually educated herself, and I spent like an hour or so, like an hour plus on the phone with my grandma talking about transgender people, and just, like, I remember that, and I remember her just being so happy for me, that I actually, that there are people out there like me. You know, she knows about queer people, or she knew about queer people, still not used to saying her in past tense, so, yeah, but, she knew about queer people and everything, but she didn't really know that much about transgender people. And then it really just, I would just show her, and she just saw all these different people that are trans, and she was just so blown away by it. And one thing that I know that she's happy about, but it, like, I'm super happy about it too, but it never really changed anything. It's like that I've always believed in Jesus. You know, Jesus is like this friend that I had who I was honestly really kind of ashamed to have had, because I was told so much that I couldn't be friends with him, because if I was, then, you know, then I just, they would hate me, like, you know, I don't know. That makes sense though, actually, thinking about it. I never actually said it out loud before, but that is exactly what it's like. It's like having this best friend or this person that you love so much, and you're so like afraid and like ashamed to really speak their name out loud and really have this like relationship that you share with others and share that love with others, because if you do, then it's like you'll be just picked on and people will yell at you and hate you and stuff like that. And that's honestly kind of how it is though when you do believe in Jesus. But I'm not one of those people that are like, if you don't do this, you're going to hell type person, you know. I'm not that kind of person. My grandma wasn't really either, you know. She was one of those people, I mean, yeah, she definitely, like, you know, she did kind of grow up differently, but I just remember her, you know, saying to me that, like, you know, just pray to God and he'll change you and stuff like that. I remember praying to God and saying, please God, like, make me the person that you need me to be and not the person who everybody else tells me I should be. I want to be loved for who you made me to be. And 5 years later, I'm here, I have green hair, and I don't know, it's liberating to have my hair like this. I don't know, it's so cool. I don't know if I've really even posted about that, but it's awesome to go out there and see kids like be like, whoa, you have green hair. And I don't really care, like I don't really care that much. Like, it's empowering to not really care so much about like, oh man, what are people gonna say about my hair, or like my head shape, like, you know, what are people gonna say about this, you know? Like, I don't really care. Like, it's liberating. It's so liberating and so like awesome, and just super thankful and grateful that I'm able to have done this and that I've had this time. And because, yeah, I know this is like really crazy and stuff like that and long, and if you actually stayed for all of this, then you're a trooper, you know, for sure. But to 19-year-old me, I would tell you that people are gonna love you for who you are. I would tell anybody else out there, even if you don't watch this, I just need you all to know and want to put this out there, that somebody, I love you for who you are. You know, I don't know you maybe, or maybe I do, but maybe I only know this certain part of you that you shared with me, and you're so many more people, you know, since then, or will be, or anything like that. Right now, meeting you right where you are right now, you are loved. You are loved for who you are. There are things that we could all grow from and change and learn and do better from, because when you know better, you do better. And it's just, there's so much more out there. But right now, where you are right now in your life, you are loved. You are cared about. And I just need you to know that, and everybody to know that. And yeah, it's so incredible. Like 2 weeks from tomorrow, I'll be not 19, I'll be 24, and somebody super, you know, significant that I'd had in my life is going to be, and just so much love to them and their birthday and their life and everything, you know, out there. And I don't know, just I'm so silly and weird, and I don't know, I just feel good though. Like, I know I'm gonna do a lot more growing and learning and stuff like that, you know, even today I'm gonna grow and learn. But I don't know, I'm really happy I was born, and I'm really happy that you were born out there, and I'm really happy that there's a lot of crazy shit going on out here, you know, every day, all the time. Like, I can't even tell you how many car accidents I've passed and had. Like, my brother-in-law was in a car accident the other day, and he broke his leg, like, super awfully bad, and like, it's awful. But I'm just so grateful for all of us that we're able to be here. And even if, you know, there are some people that are super lost and find enjoyment out of making people feel bad and stuff like that, you know, somehow maybe they touch somebody's life and heart that, you know, just that made them understand redemptive kind of love, that made them understand that when people do things like that, it's more so about them instead of, like, it's more so about the person causing that kind of pain instead of you, and just all these kinds of things. And I wish everybody love and healing, and just wish that we can all become the best versions of ourselves, because why not, you know? There's so much that I have to say, and just so much love and everything that I've learned from going through, you know, not even just my memories or my feelings or anything like that, maybe just my experience, but the kind of things that I've learned that's really important to me, the things that I value as a person, is this, you know, is putting out this kind of stuff, is putting out this kind of thing, because yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that I need to grow from and learn from, and I realize that all the time. But I think that the first steps, you know, really being aware of, you know, who you are and like what you do and put out there, I think that's absolutely changed my life. And I just want to be that kind of person that really enforces that, because it took me a long time to forgive. It took me a long time to forgive things that had happened to me, and really not even just move on from it, because I have CPTSD. It's like really hard for me to actually move on from things. But I understood that it wasn't necessarily about me being able to move on, it was me being able to actually face the things that had happened to me, being able to face not just what happened to me, but who I was when those things happened to me. And just all this stuff that I didn't realize, you know, and I'm gonna continue to learn all this stuff. But I know that your video is way too long when you run out of storage, or like when your storage is full. I can't honestly remember where I was at, but there's just so many things, you know, there's so many things that I've learned, and just, we go through things, we go through so much, all of us, we go through so much. Excuse me, maybe we went through them when we were a little kid. Excuse me, maybe we went through them when we were older. We go through things when we're little and older. We go through things that change our life. We have these survival coping mechanisms to be able to deal with things that happen to us in our life, throughout our entire life. And I don't know, it's so easy in a way for me to be able to put out this kind of stuff. But one thing that I've definitely learned from the way that my grandma loved was that, you know, my grandma made me feel genuinely seen, cared about, and valued, not for who the world told me that I had to be, but for who I am in God. And that's something that I also, you know, that I feel so strongly for and about, and just, I was really afraid, honestly, that I wasn't gonna have that kind of love, or that, you know, God would like leave me. And you know, honestly, I'll be real with you. I was afraid that that was gonna happen, you know, because you know, I still, again, I have a lot of stuff that I need to go through and everything. That I will, you know, but, you know, that love that my grandma had for us, for everybody she met, you know, it's amazing how when somebody loves you so much that you just want to grow and become the best person you can be. And I absolutely believe that from, you know, something that, like, I've read a lot about, you know, different things, you know, people that have been through, like, from listening to other people's stories, and, you know, the people that we love and care about, they're always going to be with us. They're always going to be with us, even if you know, you end up not really liking them so much. Or maybe you do, I don't know. There's so many different situations and stuff like that that we have with people. But for me, it's taken me a long time in a way to kind of forgive things. You know, to forgive people, honestly, and forgive myself for the things that have happened to me. But one thing that I really want to put out there is just how important it is to just meet people where they're at and not want them to be somebody that they're not, you know, because, you know, people aren't ready. Maybe people aren't ready for you. You know, maybe people aren't ready for the type of thing that you have to offer, but in a sense, you know, they were ready enough for you to be in their life. And I know that that sounds crazy, but, you know, they're like this, like, important part on your journey, on this map, on this glorious road. It's amazing how, like, I honestly never heard that before until my ex told me that. But, like, honestly, like, I'm not ashamed of that. Like, it took me so long to realize these things, but honestly, from, like, going all these different places and everywhere where my life went, it brought me back to me. And now I feel like I'm, like, this, like, person that, you know, sometimes I live with those self-abandonment things, like, for years, like, for, like 20 years of my life. So it's hard to sometimes, you know, really try to feel this way. But once you do, and once you kind of can be like, you know, like, hey, me, you know, I got you, you know, it changes your life. And, you know, I just want everybody to have that. I want everybody to feel like they can always go home to their self, because you are a beautiful house. You are a house full of all of these amazing, like, artifacts, art, you know, music, everything that you've ever seen and had in your life. You are so full of it. So don't let people into your house that don't help you clean up after a party. Don't forget you. Because you're not a lonely hotel room where people can just go and have this amazing, awesome vacation on and just leave with this giant mess to clean up. Because you're a house, and you deserve people that really help you to become the best people you can be. And it takes a long time to really have that, like, self-worth, because for me, like, 22 and a half years, it took forever, like 23 probably, I don't even know. Just so long of my life, so much of my life, I didn't really realize the impact that I had on people, because I doubted myself so much, and I just made myself, because I just didn't know. I didn't have those tools, those, like, really important things that, like, a lot of other people had, you know, you gotta, I didn't know my value. And I'm not better than anybody else. You know, I'm just me. I'm just out here doing physical therapy to try to get my, you know, my body able to move again. And I'm just, for the first time in my life, I actually made this thing that's like a brownie and a cookie, like chocolate chip cookie. It's heavenly, and I think you should definitely try it at least once in your life. And I think that you'll love it. And then if you do that, then I think, you know, life will be pretty good. You know, even when it's really shitty, you know, you can think back and remember that time that you had the brownie cookie thing, and it's amazing. I don't know, there's so many thoughts and everything going on in my head of so many things that I just want to throw out there. But if you take anything away from this, even if you like skip all the way to the end, you know, just I love you. I love you. I care about you. And, you know, you are loved. You are cared about. I know that my brother would say that this is some pussy shit, that this is some, like, sensitive, sympathy, empathy crap, that I'm weak, all this stuff, but, yo, let me be that. Let me be that. Because it doesn't make me feel less about myself. It doesn't make me feel like I'm less worthy of being here just because you waste, you know, just because people say all these things about you or expect you to be maybe this person, you know, just meet yourself where you're at. Meet yourself. Because I guarantee you that you, like you who you actually are, has been waiting your entire life to meet you where you're at right now. So just, you know, just kind of remember that maybe, and maybe think about that, you know, because I know for me, for a fact that, like, I spent my entire teenage years running after, you know, trying to find out who I was. And it took me so long to figure that out. But when I put, you know, those things that I'd figured out all together with who I am now, I just have nothing but gratefulness that I actually am here. And yeah, it's so powerful, it's so empowering and wonderful. And I just want to pass that on to you, for whatever age you are, or whoever you are right now. You know, I'm, you know, gonna be 24, which is insane, and just even making it this far where I'm at right now is just such a miracle to me. And Leia, hey buddy, Leia, hi. I know, she's she's like, why'd you do that? I was like half asleep. I don't know, just, I know this is like gonna be like 40 something minutes long. Hopefully I'm actually able to upload it, but yeah, just I wanted to really put this out there, and I thought that today would be really good for you to hear this world. Yeah, so just meet yourself where you're at, and I promise you that, you know, it may make you want to run, because I ran for sure. You're not alone in that. But, you know, if you stick around for a little while and just hang on and hang in there, you know, I guarantee you that you'll find a friend in there. Somebody that won't run away. Somebody that will care for you and give you hugs and make amazing, awesome dinners and desserts and everything that's just so like soothing to your soul. You know, literally soul meets body was what I went through, and I'm just really grateful for that. And I hope that you can have that too. So yeah, peace and love to everybody out there, and yeah, be kind and love to everybody. Bye. Much love.